What's up, guys? Christian Duke, NPC Strong Kentucky. Today what I want to talk about on episode 2 of NPC Strong Kentucky, and all these episodes are going to be available on our new blog, npcstrongkentucky.blogspot.com. Today I want to talk about social media and how you should maintain it. You know, I knew Rich Piana. I'm not going to say we were best friends. I'm not going to say we went out fishing or anything like that, but I had the honor of meeting him in 2013. I had the honor of interviewing him at the Arnold 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. And not only was I able to hang out with Rich, but I was able to hang out with those guys until the very end. You know, the cleaning crews would come in, the security would come in, and I was there. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned from Rich was that your social media is sacrosanct. You know, a lot of folks, they have private accounts, and that's actually really good because you can sort of filter out who is actually following you, who is seeing what you post, and who is commenting on what you post. But when you go the private route, I mean, you know, marketing wise, it's not the best thing to do either, because you basically cut yourself off from the rest of the world, and also people can't repost your stuff. So it's got its pros and its cons, but it's important that you spend time, and I learned this from Rich, and he did it better than anyone else, and he had the longest lines, and even Jimmy Hornbeck will tell you in 2017 how I was able to get him in front of the whole line. We bypassed like 3.5 blocks of line. I mean, it was so bad, guys, that the fire marshals in Columbus had to go to 5% and say, if you guys don't shorten this line, we're going to have to break it up because it's violating fire code. That's how big the line was at the Arnold. Jay Cutler wasn't getting that line. Phil Heath wasn't getting that line. You know, only Rich Piana was getting that line. Kali Muscle wasn't getting that line. Nobody was getting that line. So, you know, when Rich taught us, not just me, but anybody and everybody that listened to him and watched his videos about how important social media was, believe you me, we were listening. And it's as relevant today as it was then. So he would spend at minimum 2 hours a day on social media. And it wasn't just about putting out what he was doing, but it was liking, it was commenting on, you know, influencers and people that he respected and people that he found interesting. And you should do that as well. And I think one of the biggest things that you can do for your social media is monitoring it. There are so many scammy, spammy companies out there that will essentially pollute your social media feeds because of the hashtags that you choose to use. You could use fitness, you could use bodybuilding, you could use girls who lift, girls with muscle, guys with muscle, gym life, get swole, gains, any of those things. And so they are programmed kind of like I had the experience with Zegs, because I was putting Louisville, Kentucky. Now all of a sudden, Zegs is like spamming and saying, we'd love for you to come have breakfast with us, and then they follow you. That is bullshit. That is not real followers, and you don't want those types of comments. The worst companies are like Dreaming Elegance. That's a piece of crap clothing company. Division Supply, piece of crap supplement company. Fireside, Fireline, whatever it's called. All they do is spam. You don't want that crap on your feed, because here's what happens. If you don't remove it, people might assume that you're okay with it. If people assume you're okay with it, they might also assume that you use it. They might assume that you work with them. They might assume a lot of things. When you assume, and I don't mean to be off color, but honestly, if you haven't heard the old saying, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. So the reality of the matter is, you have got to erase that stuff. You have got to block those accounts. And if it's a person, as opposed to a company, as opposed to a bot, if you can reach out to them and say, hey, listen, if you spam me again, I'm going to block you. First and foremost, that type of quote unquote marketing does not sell products, and it does not turn heads, and it does not increase your company's goodwill or get you any kind of return on investment. Nonetheless, these companies do it because they want to be seen by everyone, and they think that that works. It doesn't. You know, so honestly, you have got to monitor your social media hawkishly. You have also got to comment on other people's stuff, and you've got to like other people's stuff. It can't be all about you. And if you do that, you will be successful. Will you be as successful as Rich Piana? No. Will you be as successful as me? Well, I don't know if I'm successful, but I'll tell you what, you know, I'm pretty good at what I do, and you can be pretty good at what you do. And who knows, if you have a great physique, a great personality, a good rapport with the audience, you might be a superstar. Who knows? But at the end of the day, your name is your brand, and you must protect that at all costs. This is Christian Duke, NPC Strong Kentucky.